This episode of Total Retail Talks is being sponsored by IBM Watson Commerce, which helps you drive innovation and act with speed and precision to improve business outcomes. Now is the moment when you can leverage cognitive capabilities to gain the insights you need to take actions that deepen customer connections and drive business growth.
Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hello, and welcome to episode 64 of Total Retail Talks. I'm Joe Keenan, Executive Editor of Total Retail. Today I'm joined by Sarah Landsman, Senior Director, LensCrafters Brand Strategy and Eye Care Marketing for LensCrafters, a Luxottica Retail brand. We're going to be discussing LensCrafters' recently launched See.Good.Daily marketing campaign. Thanks for joining me, Sarah.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
So my first question is, can you tell our audience a little bit about the See.Good.Daily marketing campaign that LensCrafters has recently launched?
Of course. See.Good.Daily launched back in August, and it was the first of its campaign, the first of its type for LensCrafters. See.Good.Daily is the first national marketing campaign to drive contact lenses at LensCrafters. And it's the first time in recent history that we've launched a campaign directly toward the millennial target. With See.Good.Daily, we're trying to change both the perception of LensCrafters as well as the perception of daily disposable contact lenses that you can get at LensCrafters.
So what are some of the various channels that you're using to promote this campaign? Is social and some of the other, email, or what are some of the ways that you're pushing this message out?
I would say all of the above. Fortunately, we have some very smart people working on the campaign that have enough insights to know where our millennial target is. And we wanted to intercept those channels in a more natural way, in a way that didn't feel overly salesy, but rather just integrated into what those channels are. So more specifically, yes, social played a very big role. We found that Instagram was especially successful and efficient and effective. Facebook, the use of videos across all channels has been extremely helpful. So all in all, the question was not which channels do we want to go in, but rather where is our millennial target right now, and where could the See.Good.Daily messaging be a relevant and natural place to interject.
Yeah, so you've mentioned that a primary target of the campaign has been millennials. Can you discuss a little bit about then how the campaign was constructed to best engage and communicate with this demographic? Social probably being a big factor in that, but sort of your strategy around reaching millennials with this See.Good.Daily campaign.
Of course. So there are really two moments in a person's life where eye care becomes really critical. One is when people are becoming vision corrected for their first time, or they're looking for a change in how they get their vision correction, glasses, contacts, etc. And that tends to be around the 16, 20-year-old. Then there's a second moment in a person's life, right around the time they reach age 40, where they start to experience what's called presbyopia. We knew we wanted to tackle one of those two moments when eye care was naturally important because of the changes that are happening in your vision or in your life. So that took us to those two places. We also knew that millennials in particular had a desire to express themselves in lots of different ways. And historically, the LensCrafters brand has marketed the glasses, and that will always be the case. But what we wanted to do was to tap into that millennial insight that they wanted the diversity of expression. And on top of wearing glasses, they may also want to wear a healthy alternative in daily disposable contact lenses. So we wanted to tap into that mindset around wanting to be able to express themselves in lots of different ways. We also knew that millennials valued brands that shared their values and principles. So they were much more likely, and I think this is true across generations now, but especially millennials, they're much more likely to invest in brands where they feel like they see the world in a similar way. And we knew that millennials were very optimistic about the world and altruism and wanting to do good in the world. As the LensCrafters brand, we shared that with them. And we had recently gone through a brand strategy revision, and we said we want, as a brand, to be able to open eyes to things that have historically been unseen, either in the category or in the world. And so there was this really nice interception point between what millennials wanted from brands and what LensCrafters, which is a brand that's alive and full of energy and color, could do by exposing the good in the world and giving them opportunities with contact lenses to help them see that.
Yeah, and I'm going to I have a question. We're going to get back to that kind of altruistic component of the See.Good.Daily campaign. But let's first talk a little bit about this new product category and a growing product category for LensCrafters and contact lenses. What are the challenges that you've come across with entering this new category, and also the opportunities? And then, how best do you market that message that LensCrafters is now your source or a good resource for contact lenses?
Well, it's a great question, and one we've talked a lot about. We know that LensCrafters is rightfully associated with having designer glasses of very high quality. We also knew LensCrafters was known for having high quality, independent, in many cases, independent optometrists. And yet, despite being known for those two things, we weren't always the first place that comes to mind when thinking about contact lenses. And yet, the independent doctors or the employed doctors that work at LensCrafters all see contact lenses as a very important tool as they deliver comprehensive eye care to their patients. So we knew that all around it was an opportunity and a fairly intuitive evolution of the LensCrafters brand, still being mostly focused on glasses and high quality doctors and eye exams, but contacts as a reason to think about LensCrafters for the entire vision care experience versus just the final output of putting glasses on the face. And we also knew that contact lens wearers don't just buy contacts. I'm guessing you have a lot of contact lens listeners, and they, like me, probably wear contacts either most or all days, but then when they take them out at night, they put on glasses. And if they're anything like me, they also own multiple pair of glasses. So it never had to be one or the other. And this campaign and the launch of it was a really good opportunity to just connect what we're known for today with what we know people need for the entire eye care.
You alluded to the giving aspect of the See.Good.Daily campaign. So let's talk a little bit about that. So there's this strong component of giving within the campaign, and sort of the fostering of these random acts of kindness in cities and college campuses, and particularly around millennials. So why is that message of giving and sort of this altruistic component of the campaign so important to LensCrafters?
Well, what most people don't know is that LensCrafters and Luxottica have a long history of giving, both in the community and in the world, through a foundation called OneSight, a Luxottica foundation. So there's this inherent love of giving back to communities that's been true at LensCrafters since the beginning. But we've never told consumers about that, and that's by design. It's just been more of a natural part of who we are. And we knew that going forward, there was no reason to hide that. So you'll start seeing a little bit more of that from LensCrafters going forward. But in the meantime, we knew that we had a really powerful insight for the design target of the millennial, which was it was important to them. And we knew that as part of our DNA, it was important to us. And we knew that with good vision care, seeing well can help change your perception to see the good. And so that was really the opportunity that we wanted to make more obvious was the connection between vision care and perception, because they are so well linked.
So with any marketing campaign that's created, there's always going to be an end goal, or should be an end goal, and kind of what you hope to get out of it. So what are the benefits that LensCrafters hopes to realize from this particular See.Good.Daily campaign? Obviously sales are a benefit, but is it just kind of getting the word out about your contact lens offerings? So getting some new customer acquisition. Can you talk about some of the components that you feel like are really the goals of the See.Good.Daily campaign?
Of course. We wanted to change the perception of LensCrafters as being a vision care expert and everything that means. And included in that is increasing the awareness of the availability of all of the world's leading brands of contact lenses that are available at LensCrafters. So that's one thing. So kind of the perception. And of course, any marketing campaign is designed to drive some sort of in-market behavior. And the in-market behavior we wanted to help drive was to get more millennials to come into the doctors, either employed by or independently next to LensCrafters, to ask about daily disposable contacts. We wanted to facilitate a conversation, have millennials be more proactive in asking the doctors about it as a healthy alternative for their vision care. So we wanted to change perception, build awareness, and increase the sales of daily disposable contact lenses, both for the LensCrafters brand as well as, importantly, for the doctors we work with.
So you mentioned the campaign's been running for a little bit now. What kind of results have you seen? Feedback have you gotten from your customers?
It's been really encouraging. We've gotten a lot of really good feedback, especially in the campaign's ability to change the perception of seeing good in the world. And we didn't originally design the timing with this in mind, but there actually couldn't have been a better time for the campaign to launch, just in terms of how much negativity there has been and sometimes still is. So the opportunity for a brand to interject like a healthy dose of optimism into those conversations, I think has been really powerful. And the level of engagement we've gotten from patients and customers across all the channels has been really encouraging, that they want both things from a brand. They want the functional benefits of vision care, as well as the more emotional inspiration of seeing good and sharing the values that they have.
And then my final question, Sarah, is you talked about how this campaign is spread out across multiple channels, and the different ways that you're communicating the message, and social and video and email. So what are you doing then to measure the performance? You said obviously any marketing campaign has an end goal around influencing behavior. What is the strategy around measuring the success of the See.Good.Daily campaign?
Well, as you can imagine, with a campaign this big that ranges from functional to emotional, we've got metrics across all of them. If I had to prioritize, I would say the one that we're looking at the most is transactions of daily disposable contact lenses. That is the one that we care most about as a proxy for how effective the balance of the campaign has been, whether it's provoking people to change their perception, to see the good in the world, et cetera. That really is the primary campaign objective. And it's important not only to LensCrafters and to the doctors, but to all of our participating partners. So we worked very closely with Alcon and very closely with Johnson & Johnson to design and execute this campaign. And that is the priority for them as well as for us. So that continues to be the primary objective, even as we start to design the second year of the campaign as we go into 2017.
Great. Well, I want to take this opportunity to thank Sarah Landsman of LensCrafters for her time, telling us a little bit about the company's See.Good.Daily campaign.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And for our audience, you can please check out our podcast channel page, mytotalretail.com/podcasts for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on iTunes and Stitcher, but make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. Lastly, please follow us on Twitter at MyTotalRetail or on Facebook at facebook.com/MyTotalRetail. Thanks, and I look forward to you joining us on the next episode of Total Retail Talks. This episode has been brought to you by IBM Watson Commerce. The new era of commerce begins now. Unleash the power of cognitive computing with IBM Watson Commerce to deepen customer engagement and fuel growth.